How's it going, everyone? So in this video, let's go ahead and check out WatchOS 26. So real quick, before we get started, I'll be sure to include timestamps and everything in the video description down below. So with that said, let's get started with compatible devices. You will be required to have a compatible iPhone that can run the latest version of iOS 26. At the time of making this video, we currently are on the developer beta, but the compatible devices are right there and listed that will be able to run iOS 26. So unfortunately, the iPhone XS as well as the XS Max no longer are going to be compatible for future Apple updates. Unfortunately, you need an iPhone 11 or newer. In terms of Apple Watches, the Apple Watch SE second generation will be compatible to be running this version of WatchOS 26. So if your Apple Watch is right there listed on the side of the screen, your device is fully compatible for this upcoming software update. Now, when it comes to release date, at the time of making this video, we currently are on the developer beta 1 for iOS as well as WatchOS 26. But for the public beta, it will be available sometime in July. And then the official release for everybody else will be around the fall time. So let's go ahead and look at what's new on this latest version of WatchOS. Pretty much identical to the previous WatchOS. The only thing you may have noticed is the icons are like different, as they do feature the latest generation, like the new signature design from Apple, which is this like liquid glass effect. You could kind of see it on some of the native first party apps right here, especially on the map apps. You could see it right there even better. So one of the new things, some new tools that Apple added for WatchOS can be located in Control Center. You see in Control Center, if you go all the way to the very bottom, you enter edit. We now have this new plus on top over here, because by selecting here, you can find the other ones you could add here. And if you look closely, they added new stuff, such as the ability to add notes, control your accessibility for your smart home appliances or smart home accessories, as well as airplane mode right here. Finally, we have that, and I wouldn't be surprised if Apple continues adding more in the next upcoming betas. So by tapping add notes, this is one of the new ones right here. If we go down, you can just select here. It will quickly take you to your note app, which allows you to use dictation, or even surprisingly, I can also use a keyboard as well, or scribbles. Will probably take longer to write things, but it's here. You can now utilize the native note app that's found on your iPhone on the Apple Watch, a powerful tool, especially for like cheat sheets at work. And it automatically syncs from here to your iPhone. Now, when it comes to watch faces, there's no new watch face like I added. The watch face library on the Apple Watch is very traditional, what we've seen in the past. We do get new categories, but you can go all the way to the very bottom and go back to the old look if you want to, which is kind of messy. I do appreciate this new category organization that they have going on. And then if you launch the watch app on your iPhone, nothing changed here either. But by selecting the watch faces, you get even a better on how organized everything is now. But again, you can just scroll all the way to the very bottom, and then you'll see the show all watch faces right here. That's new. But again, don't expect any new watch faces to get added. Apple typically add new watch faces when we're at the end of the watch cycle. Whenever Apple releases a new model, so like the Series 11 or the Ultra 3 is when we're going to see a new watch face get added from a future update. So around that time is typically when Apple adds a new watch face. Now real quick, if you've been enjoying this video so far, if you could take 2 seconds to hit that like button and like, those really do help out the channel a lot, and also allow me to continue making these videos for you guys without having integrated brands for like a sponsorship, taking like a minute or two off your time. So greatly appreciate those likes, as they do strongly support the channel and keep it sponsor free. Let's carry on. Now, one of the apps that did receive, I guess, new features is the workout app. I wouldn't be surprised if Apple improved the algorithm as well to make workout tracking more accurate than ever before, but I know I have a lot of apps. If we go down to the workout app right in here, this is how the workout app looks like. When you launch it for the first time after updating, you will be welcomed with a new splash screen, as you see right here, which gives us like a quick navigation on how the workout app looks like. So it's been slightly redesigned where it will actually use Apple Intelligence to understand like what your workout routine typically is. So I do start my workout on the elliptical to warm up, so it's prompting me with the elliptical. If I scroll down, it does indoor walking, which is another exercise I do, and of course strength training for my gym. And then I just tap play, and it immediately starts my 3-second countdown that I could bypass by simply tapping once. So this part's pretty much standard and very traditional. My media playing right here, it's selected my podcast, which is what I typically listen to at the gym, not music. And then on my left side, we have the previous things that we are already familiar with. Nothing crazy here, aside from this new screen right here. Notifications also feature like a new fade effect animation as well, if you caught that. But if I select the music icon, I could actually allow it to auto play media, and I could decide if I like my Apple Watch to automatically decide on what kind of music I want to listen to. So if I want my Apple Watch to decide for me, I could allow it to pick for me, or I could choose my existing like media source like Apple Music or even YouTube Music as well, or other sources. As you see on the very bottom, you could customize it now. I don't know why this notification isn't going away. There we go. So this pick for you is new. This allows the Apple Watch basically decide on what kind of music you want to listen to. And then on the top left over here, you customize the metrics, the layouts, what you want to see. I'll go in greater detail in a future video. This is just a quick overview because this is fairly new. And then on the goals, you could change it or customize it right here, which gives you access to customized tools a lot more quicker than previously. I guess by doing this, Apple thinks it's much more simple, and I kind of agree. And then on the bottom here, you can actually toggle like alerts. So like heart rate, if you want to keep a certain BPM, you can, or a timer, and it'll notify you when you complete like 15 minutes on the elliptical as an example. Now with this, we also have access to a new AI training buddy, which is supposed to have like hyper intense energy, like the trainers you see if you use like the Apple Fitness Plus. So it'll motivate you to push even harder or keep a good pace and congratulate you once you're done with your workout. And then if you're somebody who has their notifications like disabled, like I took off silent mode, right? And now all my notifications are going to be loud. The Apple Watch is now smart enough to detect your environment that you're in. If you're inside, it's not going to play the volume at max audio whenever you get a text message. It's going to be lower than previously. And then when you're outdoors, it's going to be really loud so you could hear it. So I think that's kind of an interesting feature. I need to test this out to really give you my real world feedback. In addition to that, whenever you receive an incoming call, by flicking your wrist, it will dismiss the caller now, instead of having to do the double tap gesture. I will test this out to see if it's compatible in other Apple Watches, but I'm assuming this is only compatible with watches that support the double gestures. But this also works with notifications as well. And then as for the iPhone, you know how if you tap the profile, if you select the background right here, you could change backgrounds of like the conversation you're having a conversation with. This is new for the iPhone, and this also correlates on the Apple Watch. You see, if we go into the Message app and go back to that group wallpaper we just customized, here we are. In that same conversation, the wallpaper will actually change. So if you change the wallpapers on your iPhone, it will change it on your Apple Watch as well. As for your Mail app, nothing changed on the Mail app. It's pretty much very traditional like I used to be. The only thing that changed was really the icon for the app. And then as for your smart home app, also hasn't really changed. Everything looks very traditional. Again, this is in the beta stage. I wouldn't be surprised if later on things get dramatically overhauled on some of these apps. And the heart rate app also looks very similar to like how it used to previously look like. Nothing changed there. Additionally, the activity app also hasn't really changed either. It looks very similar to like how it previously looked like. And then for the Smart Stacks is smarter than ever before. Now it can actually utilize location as well as devices that are connected to your device. So like if you have your AirPods hooked up to your Apple Watch or your iPhone and you're at your gym, a little smart hint will pop up on your watch face. That's what Apple's calling it, where you can just simply tap on it and immediately starts like tracking your workout. Now we are using an Apple Watch Ultra, which means we have access to the action button. Nothing changed here, but I have noticed whenever we activate it, we have a cool fade orange animation. Not sure if you saw that, but it now will actually like do this like fade effect. Oh, and lastly, I nearly forgot. I know I'm gonna get asked this a lot, what kind of band this is. I have this link in the description down below. In terms of the charger that the Apple Watch is on, that's 3D printed. Unfortunately, I lost the file, so I can't share it. I'll try to recreate it if I have time, but yeah, I'm sorry. Other than that, there you guys have it. Those are the standout features that we have available right now for this latest version of WatchOS 26. Let me know in the comment section which one of these is your personal favorite and which feature would you like to see Apple add in the near future that you like to request. Feel free to comment down below. Now, if you wish to watch more, maybe you'd like to see what was added on Apple CarPlay, I covered that in this video over there. Thank you. so much for watching.